This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. This One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here we have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Where is your stash?
Bro. So, shaving mishap, stash, cut the stash too low, so it all had to go, man. So
You're frozen. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
I'm frozen?
Yeah, you froze up.
Hold on.
Did you click out the window? There you go. You
All
good now.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, like I said, like, just...
This man has kept himself hidden to the last possible second.
Yeah, just for the podcast. Just for the podcast.
This man looks... This is unbelievable. This man looks like Bobby Lashley. Like,
yeah, I look like Bobby Lashley. I look like Pete Barry Bonds. I look like I Know Black. I Dominican. I look like I exclusively I'm sorry. I look like I don't date black women. I look, yeah, it's bad, bro. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's awful.
This is unbelievable.
I fucking hate it, bro. I hate it. Like, the last time this happened to me was actually 2022. So like so when I got my passport renewed, my passport picture looks like this.
That's crazy.
Like, I was bigger, so my face is like, whatever. But yeah, basically the same thing, just fresh face. I fucking hate it so much, bro. I hate it so much.
Look like The Rock.
Yeah. I look like the Black Rock, like the dark skin Rock. I look like the Obsidian. I look like the Onyx.
Yes. I've never asked you, James. Did you go bald because of Onyx by any chance?
No, I went bald because I lost my hair. It had nothing to do with Onyx. Frito Star does not hold that kind of weight in my heart. No. All these niggas almost says Celtic Shaq. That's nuts. Yeah, Celtic Shaq. All the Shaqs.
Celtic Shaq is nasty.
Prime. Look, peak Shaq. 2000 Shaq was like this too. Yeah. Not good, girl. Don't like it.
Unreal.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Oh.
It is what it is. And my facial hair don't grow fast, so like, I'm gonna be like this for like a month. It sucks.
Damn.
It's awful, bro. It's awful.
Yeah, if I had to go fresh face, that shit would be back in like 2 days. Tyson Beckford.
Tyson Beckford.
I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. Mike
Malice.
Clark Duncan.
Malice.
Done it before. Malice. Yeah. Black Don Callis over here.
Oh,
wow.
Shit. That is nuts. Did someone say that? Oh, wow. Sefer Drogi. You might get booted out of here for that one. That's nuts. I do not have a fucking, what do you call it? The Harry Potter makeup scar on my head every single week.
So we're here with a special Monday edition of the for the review for the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door show. I think, like, coming into the show, this show, like many other Forbidden Doors, has so much chatter around it.
Yep.
And people, I don't really think about what the show is actually going to be. Mm-hmm. And it really turns out to be like like guys get good reactions on these shows. The fans are happy to see them. There aren't like these fake things that are the discourse online about this show. All that pretty much gets checked at the door, and it's like, all right, who's over? Who has a good match? Who doesn't? And it is what it is. As far as like an overall show for me, very, very big crowd, very successful business wise, looked amazing in the arena. And I thought it was a fun show. I didn't think it was like on the level of most of the AEW pay-per-views this year, because this has been an exceptional year for AEW on pay-per-view. I thought this was like slightly under that. I would probably go like a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10 for me on this one. But it was like, a unique time. Watch it during the day. I can imagine if it was on at night, I might have felt different about the show. I don't know. That's a whole thing. But what did you think about the show, James?
Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Many thoughts, because like there's really outside of the main event or the lights out, whatever technically is the thing. The last match, there was nothing that was like truly great or truly entertaining in that way. The title match with Paige and MJF had that until they said never mind. We'll get to that later, but yeah, this match, this show is like, I'd probably say there were like 3 or 4 matches that are like 4 stars or 4.25 or whatever else. And then but everything else is like, depending on how you feel about, some of the politics and stuff going on, like every single match is like at worst good. And outside of like maybe 2 matches, every match is very good. So yeah, this show was one of those things where you look and you're like, this is a quality show up and down. Like unless you're tired from watching so much wrestling, which you hear that complaint with all these pay-per-views these days. But outside of that, you say like match for match for match is like, they gave you pretty high quality throughout the whole entire night, which is when you have these promotions put together to put on this super show or whatever else, that's what you expect. So yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I think every year this is what you expect. You expect the floor to be quality matches left and right. And then on some years when you have, a healthier roster of guys, or maybe, Gato is not committing treason over there.
Amazing he showed up, like in that building with that many people. If I was Gato, I'd be hiding out.
Yeah. Maybe he feels safer outside of Japan right now. But yeah, like outside of that, a higher crop of talent from New Japan, as far as like more established talent, like guys that are put on that top level to replace the guys that are basically on AEW. You have those special shows like previous years whereas like you have these killer matches, as opposed to, it's more like a what do you call it? Success by committee. Like there was no bell cow. This was just a collective effort of just high floor wrestling all throughout the night.
Yeah, and that started on the pre-show. There were 4 pre-show matches. We had like El Desperado teaming up with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, Yuya Uemura, who got a good reaction. They beat Crew, which was Action Andretti and Leo Rush, and Hechicero and Josh Alexander. The Uemura and Josh Alexander minutes were good. Leo Rush and El Desperado looked good together in there. And Yuya ended up getting the pin. So Gato or Tony Khan booking Uemura stronger than Gato.
Is that right?
Had the 6-man tag. Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona and Ricochet. They beat Jet Speed and Michael Oku. I think Michael Oku's not quite ready for prime time yet, but
is that because he may have broken his neck?
Nah, I just think he's got a little bit longer to go. But the women were on the pre-show as well. We had Megan Bayne and the Triangle Madness, which is Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Tekla. Managed by Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford didn't even have a match. Showed up fully dressed to the nines. Beat Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale, who got a monster reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get to the women's title match, I have some thoughts.
Okay.
And then the AEW World Trios title, Ops defeated the Bullet Club War Dogs, Connors, Maloney, and Robbie X, who, when I first looked up, I was like, why is John Silver in the ring? But it was not John Silver.
Why are you saying like you don't like John Silver?
I love John Silver.
That's what I said. You're like, why is he in the ring? Like, what you mean why is he in the ring? I wish we
Because I was like, I didn't know he was a war dog. Like, when did he leave the Dark Order? Like, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, fair enough.
I guess I wasn't familiar with Robbie X, but yeah, you know, they ended up getting him out of there, but pretty sure it was pretty cool. And then it rolled into the main show, which opened with Cope and Christian, the CNC wrestling connection, against Killswitch and Kip Sabian, led to the ring by Mother Wayne. Mother Wayne, let's just say that.
Normally, Golden Globe season isn't until the spring, but yeah, it was. Apparently there was 2 out there already.
Yeah, you know, Elf. But Adam Copeland and Christian Cage got to win.
I'm sorry for digressing. I'm already fucking up the show. Wasn't there a Mickey James TNA group called MILF Money? Was that a thing?
That might have been her nickname or something. I don't know.
We can move on. Sorry, they'll answer in the chat. Sorry about that.
I'm sure somebody will know. But this crowd went fucking berserk to sing Adam Copeland's song.
Yes, they did.
You know, the UK is, you know, typically Fed territory, so Cope was the first one out. He wanted to go ahead and get that. And they sang that motherfucker.
Yeah, they did.
They missed no words.
It's the new Judas. And except with Judas, it ran for a long time. People kept wanting to sing it. Like, now we're already at the point now where like it's hit and miss on whether or not people are gonna sing it. You knew in the UK they were gonna sing it, so it's fine. They're gonna sing it all out too.
Yep. Not in America. But yeah.
Do you think they're gonna, because I know there's a show in they're going to Lakeland in like October. Do you think they're gonna be singing in Lakeland? I don't think
they might struggle out there.
Yeah.
They might struggle out there. This was okay. I thought maybe Cope would try to be funny and pull up with a matching turtleneck or something, but he didn't. They both wore all black.
So it's so obvious that like people around, even though they sang the song, regardless of whatever you feel about Copeland and all this kind of stuff, people still rock with Christian heavy. And Christian knows it. And he's playing off the fact that like he's the gimmick in this. He's the star. He is the straw to stir in this drink. Like, he has not changed. You know, he comes out there with the patriarchy thing, and then at the end when it says father, it says asshole. You have people. You have signs in the crowd that says he's our arsehole. And then so the reason why I requested that you play Young Dro, what it is, before we started, or before at the beginning of the stream, before we did the podcast recording it, was because there's a great line in that song, like that just illustrated. It popped in my mind when I was watching it. When Christian is in the ring with Kip tags in Killswitch. Christian then proceeds to act like he's going to actually, you know, face somebody he has wronged in his past, but he still ain't there yet. So he circles around, and then as he gets back to his corner, he basically blind tags in Copeland, and then he gets onto the apron, and Copeland looking at him like, really? And like, my mind is just like Yondro said, Copeland is thinking, I'm a tough nigga, you a fuck nigga. Like, so I was like, all right, and they kept playing up to that, and then by the end, I like the spot. The pop up spear, that was cool looking. But you know, it's Kip Sabian and it's Killswitch, and when they came down to the ring, the graphics said
like they ain't got a chance in hell.
They said they had a combined 124 wins. I looked, 96 in the wins from Luchasaurus.
Amazing.
And Luchasaurus was on the shelf for over a year, so it's like, all right, man. And And look, how many of them Kip Sabian was on Dark? The show don't even exist no more. Right.
Lots of them. Yeah. Rampage.
Yeah, man. You know, hey, if this were not the UK.
Oh no. He wasn't gonna be in a match. Oh, actually he was.
He was, but he was gonna pin regardless.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
but Bryan Danielson was on commentary throughout this, and I thought he was exceptional on commentary.
Yeah.
Pretty much all night. Like, just like from a in-ring perspective, like when you're watching like either the moves or getting the stories over, playing off, you know, with Don Callis, different stuff like that, where he's talking about, I'll come in and teach a session with the Don Callis family or some shit, but I charge too much money. That shit was funny as fuck. Like he did a really great job all throughout this.
He should replace somebody.
Bro, he's awesome on commentary.
Excalibur, Danielson. If he's not going to wrestle no more, Excalibur, Danielson, and whoever the third is. But like, I'm sorry.
He has this ability too to like. And I noticed it when Will Nightingale got in the ring. It's like the credibility that he lends them. It's like, oh shit, Bryan Danielson like said this person is either great, and he was doing it with Kyle Fletcher too. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, they did that in a way that just Taz just hasn't like had that, like as far as like, you know, somebody that you need to listen to that feels like some type of authority or something on the commentary desk. Like it just feels like, you know, Taz is amongst the show, and there's no disrespect on Taz or anything, but it was just like Danielson brought something different, I think, that resonates with the audience who, you know, beloves Danielson. And Taz has been a commentator for 25 years.
And Taz has been good for most of it. Like that,
he's a good commentator, but what I'm saying is like people don't even remember him as a wrestler, really. Yeah. So it's like that. It's hard to like be like, oh yeah, that's the tough guy from Red Hook, New York, and stuff like that. He's the old guy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and like don't get me wrong, like also it should be stated like the Excalibur, Shivani, Taz trio, like they have good chemistry together. Like, so. But I'm just saying, like, just in a vacuum, if Danielson wants to be on the road, wants to be away from the family without having to take bumps to do it, and he missed the thrill of being on the road, you know, he should that should be his spot. He should be the number one color commentator, and then you know what that means, Rich? That means on some of these pay-per-views we will be getting Excalibur and Danielson and Nigel and. That would be fucking fantastic. They just argue, like they just be arguing the whole entire time over, and it would be
shut up.
Be like, you know, Nigel, you know, basically on the show, you know, devil's advocate on the shoulder, you know, playing the bad guy, and then Danielson being the you know, good conscience. It'd be like, hey, you know, nah, and then and all of it comes back to it stems from old country ROH smoke from 20 years ago. That would be great. That would be great. Like, they ain't even arguing about right or wrong. They arguing about their beef from back then.
They argue about principle.
Yes, they argue about some shit from 20 years ago. They ain't let go. That'd be great. Look,
I think this guy could have beat you. Don't you think?
Bro,
or something like that. Like,
it is crazy. They have so many. I'm not even trying to like. I'm not knocking Taz. I'm not knocking Riccaboni. I'm not knocking none of them. Like they have. So many good, like, commentary talents on the roster at their disposal. Like, they have a really good, like, staff. So, adding Danielson to it, and he only did this week, it was like, wow, he might be better than all of them.
Yeah.
From the color side, yeah. Except for maybe Nigel. And Nigel was always awesome anyway.
Yeah. Then we got the AEW TNT title match. That is Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi, and Hiromu looked like he had, you know, that, you know, somewhat of the energy that, you know, we kind of recognized him with. I thought Kyle Fletcher was like, by the time this match was over and he won, he was getting his hand raised. And I'm thinking about like where he is in the company. This is his first kind of real defense. Cal's put him over huge on commentary. Danielson's put him over huge. Russell was a spectacular match. I think this guy's like the essence of like your secondary champion right now. Like he's like if you were looking up in the dictionary, it looks like Kyle Fletcher and where he is in his career.
Yeah.
And like it don't even seem like he necessarily needs to even be in this stage for super long. You could even elevate this guy even more, I think.
You could make the argument, given Omega situation, given Swerve, Ospreay, like, hey, him or Takeshita need to be the breakout babyface while he's gone. Like, while those three are gone, like, to fill what's that vacuum. Like, one of those two, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Takeshita because he just came back.
It's going to be Takeshita, yeah.
But, like, one of them two need to fill that role and break away from Don Callis' family and get elevated by getting, facing that murderer's role of a roster, of a stable. Jesus. But we'll get to that later. But
we'll talk about it and say, yeah. But yeah, Fletcher looked great. I thought Hiromu looked good, too.
Fletcher is, bro, it's funny looking back at it when we were doing the Pillars and the Killers thing, and it's like, look, Darby could be the champion. MJ has been the champion. Those are the two. But when we were comparing, we were out here, Guevara and Jack and like, those are two great pro wrestlers in the ring. As far as presentation and a storyline and as talking ability, like Fletcher just came in and just took their traps. Like, I'm sorry. He's above, and he's younger, obviously. Younger, bigger, better physique. He just has more to his game than them. I would love to see him wrestle them. Would love to see Guevara or Perry versus him. Love
on the
imagine Jet Speed versus TNT's out, either Jet Speed versus Fletcher. There's a million of those matches for Fletcher. A million of them.
There was a Jack Perry call to the Young Bucks on Being the Elite today where the Bucks didn't pick up the phone for him. So we might be seeing Jack Perry sooner than we think. So that's always good to hear. But yeah, man, I thought this was like a true like Forbidden Door match. Like, oh, okay, Hiromu's like not at his peak anymore, but you could just see, like, I was like, man, what would him versus Danielson have been like? Like, I would have just like loved to see it, like, just thinking about it. So like, Hiromu's got a lot of options. I think he's content where he is and everything like that. But once you get on these shows, it's like, all right, man.
You want him to come over is where you're getting at?
I'm not saying I want that, but I'm like, look, man, like,
they ain't gonna ever push you. They ain't gonna ever push you as being ace of the juniors division. So you may as well. Yeah, I mean, look.
You know what your future is over there, and
see,
you want to go get a check.
Now, this is my problem, right? If you call Hiromu, don't they have to make another call? Don't they out of guilt have to make another call?
I don't think they do, honestly.
I think knowing Tony Khan, he would make another call, and I'm like, I don't.
This is make a team.
I don't think it's necessary. Like, they're gonna bring in like all. Well, they're gonna bring in Naito, Hiromu, and Bushi eat all the pins. It ain't don't even do that. It ain't worth it, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I make a roll call. Look, now if they want to, if you want to make another phone call on this Shingo, that's a different story. It's a different story. Yeah. But I don't think Shingo. I know, he's wrestled up here a bunch, but still, not everybody wants to live over here. Man. Or fly back and forth like Okada is doing. That's nuts.
Yeah. So up next, we had the 4-way match with Mercedes Moné, won her 9th belt over the weekend. Yes. Somewhere in Scotland, defeated Windsor, Ozilla, and Persephone. And they did probably some of the coolest, 4-person spots in a match that I can recall. Like, and it was like original shit too that like I can't, remember seeing. I thought Bozilla did great. Came to the ring, with the smoking mask like Vader, and like she was the talk of the town after this thing. Yes, and this thing was kind of set up for her to thrive in that way.
Yes.
Everybody I was like, for Bozilla to like get over, it's so easy. All she had to do was like roar at somebody, and then especially like Mercedes, and then Mercedes would sell it, and then you're made immediately. Yeah. But she did more than that.
Right.
Did a moonsault. Yep. Was powerbombing folks.
Yep. So Rich, I mean, we've seen it. Like, we saw our first match in Japan, over immediately. Over before the match is over. Over like in the first 5 minutes of the match. That match is awesome. If any of y'all that like saw the Bullzilla and was like, wow, that's really cool. Her first match in Japan was her, a Marigold match. It was her and Suri versus Utami and Julia. And that match is like a 4.5 easy. That shit was awesome. And Bullzilla was awesome in it. And she's don't even know what she was doing half the time. It's just pure flat out instincts and like the charisma of Psycho, in-ring charisma of Psycho Sid. But yeah, she just, there's just something about her inexperience level or whatever else, the part where like she's not fully fleshed out as a wrestler, and nor will she probably ever be, given like her size difference. Like, she's a giant monster, and like, but everywhere I've seen her be, she's figured out how to get over. Got over in Marigold, got over in Stardom, got over in front of, 20 or damn near 19,000 people that have, most of them have never seen her at all. They probably think the name was
Not
goofy
really
and silly. She walks out and they're like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh, never mind. Let's start clapping like seals. So yeah.
And very engaging, not just like an expressionless giant or something. Like, she's got the big smile in like certain like times. Like, I find her like really engaging in that way. I thought Persephone was awesome as well.
Persephone got a contract waiting for her from NXT any day now. The email, the offer is sent at some point. Look, man,
those Gooners want her badly.
Say again?
Oh, they want her badly. I said them Gooners want her badly.
And yes, they want her badly. Got to emphasis on badly. Yeah. Like, I don't even know if they know she speaks English or not, but when they do, it's over. It's over.
Jorgen says she does need to go to choke slam class, but God, she's good. Yeah, she got that. I was like, oh, she did that low choke slam. I was like, so somebody that had to be like miscommunication or something. Yeah,
probably. But yeah,
Mercedes escaped out the back door with it, rolling up Persephone.
Yep.
And I love Mercedes so much, bro. She has the entrance, and she has all the British dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know the official name of them. Each one
Royal
of them
Guard, I think. The Royal Guard.
Yeah. Each one of them holding the belt. And I'm like, if you don't like this Mercedes Moné thing, you are getting fucking worked. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this thing is like, because like, James, they will look at that shit and then like totally forget in their mind last month she did a clean job on the biggest show of the year.
Right.
Or whatever. And then like, take that out their brain completely and be like, oh, this is bullshit. How does she get to do this?
The part that's really funny is like, she lost that match and like they no longer can do the creative control thing anymore, and I think that makes it matter because like she's getting these belts elsewhere. It's just her existence just bothers people, and that's par for the course. But yeah, man, she's great, and she's going to continue to be great, and I hope that like her and Toni, I hope that they meet back up soon. I think it's time for Mercedes to go ahead and be the world champion. And by world champion, I don't mean like be the AEW world champion. I mean like she has all the championships in the world, so she is the world champion by definition. If you have every championship in the world, you're the world champion. So yeah, yeah. But
that's right,
really
Niagara Driver coming for the red belt too. The white belt too.
Don't.
Need all of them. Need the stardom belts too.
I don't think she allowed
that. No, we don't need the marigold belts. Keep them over there with Rossi. But on 4th, as I predicted, James, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness. Nigel was accompanied by Daniel Garcia. And, they had a match.
Like, they had, like, the 3rd or 4th best match on the show. Like, I get it's not your style, but that match was really fucking good. So while watching it, to me, it's apparent, like, Nigel, at this stage in the game, just technically can't keep up, like, speed-wise, just can't keep up with Sabre. And Sabre just had to all right, come along for the ride. So, but even still, like, Sabre was fucking phenomenal, and he still had a great match. So Sabre's phenomenal, bro. He's just awesome. And Hopefully next year they give him a more contemporary opponent to do this with. Like, because we've seen him with his contemporaries doing this kind of shit, and it's phenomenal. So, this is like the dream match for him / this is like the courting thing. They're still, how you put on the full court press, Tony Khan did for Ospreay. It's like, I know what you're doing, Tony Khan. I see you doing this, but this man has been in Japan for like 20 or for like 15 years at this point. He does not give a flying fuck about anything else other than Japan. Stop it. That man was wrestling Noah. That man is that sick, okay? No, it's not. I don't think it's ever happening. He's had plenty of connections. He knows all them people. Remember that man was in discotheque with John Moxley before, the German discotheque. Nah, ain't nothing swaying him to come over here. You think USD's gonna do it? He could have been left for a bag. That man was in the Cruiserweight Classic. Instead, that man took his ass back to the trap. So nah, man, it's not gonna work. You try it out. I appreciate these matches. These are matches I actually enjoy out of the New Japan situation. Like, he comes out here, showcases, and he normally gets his win.
They had Johnny Saints in ringside. There was a pretty cool vignette before the match with Nigel where he's playing chess, I believe, with maybe Johnny Saints.
I think it was.
Or it was another UK guy, Rocco Rock, or no, he's dead. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe I see it. It's like, how everybody in the early 2010s always used to be like, Jay Electronica is this phenomenal rapper, and then it's like you gotta work real hard to either find it, listen to it. I guess that's just how I feel about Zack Sabre Jr. No,
really?
About Zack. It's like
you've
Jay
seen him in too many awesome
Everyone's
matches.
just telling me how genius it is, and I'm just
okay.
All right, because I liked them earlier this year against Goto, but I guess this didn't go the same.
It's the opponent more than anything. It's just Nigel's not a full-time wrestler, and he's older, and he had a long layoff. We've seen. Look, like I said before on the preview, Sabre outside of Ospreay, he's probably has the best batting average of anybody in Forbidden Door history. But yeah, I get it. As I'm watching it at times, I'm just like, Sabre is literally having to slow down for Nigel. And no knock against it, but it's like, he's used to wrestling other guys at a faster pace. It is what it is.
For his Rogan is fine. Next year, Shota Umino will have a bigger match, I'm sure. God damn it. They can keep that shit. This is why they can't get any higher than 4th on this show. I think, was there another New Japan person seen up until Hiroshi Tanahashi after this? No.
I don't think so, no.
That's crazy. But yeah, Zack wins. Do
you want Bishamon in the tag match?
Absolutely. Well, Goto's not healthy at the moment, but I would have taken Taichi. Both.
Okay.
Actually, I think that injury, they were saying it was a work now. I don't know.
Okay.
But he's definitely doing that movie. He's not signed with New Japan at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would have taken Taichi, come kick somebody or whatever. But up next, the AEW World Tag Team Title 3-way match. Bandito and Brody King versus the Hurt Syndicate versus FTR. And there was an entire thing of drama leading up before this match even happened.
Yep.
We saw the advertising of an elimination match on social media.
And that's what kept us fully sticking our foots up their ass for all this. Yeah.
Yes. And then it was pulled the day of the show. And it was all right, what the fuck's going on? Mm-hmm. And then I immediately started blasting off on Twitter this is bullshit. This is wrong. And, there are pundits out there that I vehemently disagree with that have basically talked about it as Hurt Syndicate.
They're excusing the shit.
And talk about how beast it is and
right.
All these other people
bro, take that.
There's nothing beast. This is anti-fan here. We need to advocate.
Take that shit. That's that Kazuchika Noah shit. Get it out of here. I don't care, bro. I don't care.
I'm just going to say it, James. I know people are friendly with wrestlers. I am friendly with wrestlers, too. I understand how the game works. However, we're pro-fan. first, and that's where you need to be coming from here on this, because advocating for people to not do business and advocating for people to be all about themselves will inevitably create friction in the locker room.
Yep.
Because I've heard from people in the locker room on this. And then 2, it will create a situation to where you are wasting a bunch of time and no one is getting over working with you.
Right.
They had these belts. Someone laid down for them. Someone embarrassed themselves and was never seen in the promotion again.
Yep.
To help get them over with these belts. When the fall goes down, they were at the Heathrow airport already before the fall hit 3.
Bro,
They decided to pull one loose string from something that happened months and months ago. This is not a storyline reason. This is a pull something out of your ass reason.
No, it's
like this,
fine.
This is like
it's fine if they.
I have no interest in it.
No. It's fine. Look, I'll give them benefit of the doubt if they do it.
That feels like somebody was locked in a room that was on a staff and was like, can you please watch the hours and hours of the Hurt Syndicate walking to the ring in the suits and talking, and then find something that we can draw up right now to reference something they did to get us out of this.
Right.
That's what this was. And it was like, hold on, they disrespected Ricochet once. How about we do this? And then they were like, boom, we found our out here.
And I'm not even sure if that happened this year. Like that may have happened at the very end of 2024. I'm not sure. Right?
Exactly.
There's
no red herring for this.
The Ricochet and Swerve stuff was the beginning. It was that Georgia match they had. Was that in February?
The Georgia match was in the first week of February and had been built up for like 2.5 months. I saw so many people replying to me with bad fantasy booking and the Pinnacle and MJF. I'm like, none of that shit is fucking happening.
Yeah.
How many times do we have to go over it?
Yeah.
Like, get the Hurt Syndicate out of this fucking company. Like, I'm not dressing it up no more. I don't care whose uncle they are or no shit like that. All they have done is take, and not give anything.
Yeah. And also it's like, I mean, if you want to look at that Bobby Lashley AEW match guide on Cage Match, it's not impressive. Like, it'd be one thing if they were having killer matches. They ain't. Like, they're eating up time. They just had an unsuccessful storyline just crash and burn on TV. That's been investing months into it. And
why, James? Because they couldn't figure out who was winning at the end, and they hastily pulled the plug in 2 weeks on TV. Boy, it's gotta feel amazing to lie to yourself and tell yourself something's happening, something's coming, something's gonna make this all make sense, and then it don't.
Yeah.
What is that like?
The promotion they were just at before. Like when you should not accept this. This is a perfect example.
People should not accept this.
This is a perfect example of another class of people that go from WWE, come to AEW, still have the programming from mind control, brainwashing from WWE, that everything has to be a quote unquote story, which is really just a thing to say, I'm not laying down for you unless you have a really good fucking reason or excuse for me to not get embarrassed or whatever else. Right? So no one can ever get clean finishes except for on the biggest matches at the biggest shows of the year. Everything else is bullshit, right? That's the reason why you're like that. And then you end up at AEW where people will lay down and give a fuck, and then they do it for you, and then all of a sudden they say, all right, your turn. They'll be like, we gotta have a story. Okay. All right, let me guess. You'll have a story, or you'll have an injury, or whatever else, or you won't be on TV forever, or until your contract runs out, and then you're hoping to go back to WWE, so you can do that all over there again. Like, cool, bro.
Let's just take a look at the people in this match that main evented this show. There was a 10-man match here. We have Kenny Omega. Never had a problem doing a job.
The first year of this company doing jobs left and right.
Darby Allin.
Got over by doing big job after big job after big job. Got more over after every job he did.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Spent the end of his prime making the next guy in Kazuchika Okada in New Japan.
Will Ospreay has done nothing but big job after big job in this promotion. He has not. He has yet to win the big one. Jon Moxley,
for a guy that is an ace, is really in a heel like that is really fucking given when you think about it. He has done nothing. He has been over backwards to put over Adam Page at every big moment.
And then the Young Bucks. I'll leave Gabe Kidd out of this because he's got a long way to go. But he lost at the Dome this year.
Right. Yeah. Big match of his life.
And then the Young Bucks.
Young Bucks. The best tag team of all time. And then lost in the semifinals of the inaugural tag tournament. Didn't win the titles until 2 years. Until year 3 into promotion.
Yep.
No, year 2 into promotion.
Amazing. So like when you come in with this attitude of like, I'm never dropping a fall anywhere ever, there literally will have to be ninjas that have to emerge and take us away. It makes it look goofy. It makes it look stupid.
By the time that pin happened in the ring, I tweeted this, they were 100 feet away. They were at least 100 feet away from the pinfall, as if they had like filed a restraining order on the pinfall. It's like, nah, man, you can't. And it'd be one thing if like we hadn't peeped that early, hadn't teased it for months, hadn't been like, hey man, this is a problem here. Look at these. Why are they tag team champions, and why are all the other killer tag teams in this division, the cornerstone, the franchise tag teams, not doing anything with them because they can't get a finish in the ring?
And look, I feel like obvious. I know
when I was teasing after All In, like, hey man, Floyd, him and FTR, they talk or whatever else, and he had said, hey, they want to do they want to work with her sick, and I was like, hey man, you need to tell them no. You need to tell them they're not gonna give them shit. And then you watch this match, and what happened? The match started.
I feel like they were not. I feel like there was a lot of cross matches going on, right?
And I feel like.
I feel like Brodito was working with FTR, and I feel like Brodito was working with the Hurt Syndicate, but there was not that much interaction between. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
The match started, and they split off, and the 6 split off into a pair of threes. One side had FTR versus Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley holding his own against them two, a fucking tag team. And then the other side was, it was Brodito. Yeah, the other side was like Brody holding his own that side, and then they converge or whatever else. And then every time you saw Lashley versus FTR guy, he was eating their lunch, just eating their lunch. Like there was only one time that I remember, like Dax got into a situation where he got him to sell at some point because it was like at some point he was no selling the shots from Dax early, and then eventually he sold it in, and then like after that it was like, nah, we just roughhouse you, and then Sheldon Benjamin started throwing around FTR and shit. With them Germans and shit, I was like, man, all right.
Yeah, FTR was supposed to win. Rumor is like Tony just decided on the day to go with Bandito and Brody King. But I feel like this really, I feel like I can predict what happened. Yeah, I'm getting there
anyway.
Right, I'm gonna get there. But like FTR, I feel like I know what happened here. FTR was like, "What do you need from us, Tony?
Yep.
What do you need us to do? We'll do it. We'll do it. Fuck it. If they don't want to do business, we'll do business. And then they'll get those fucking belts later.
Because as much shit as we've given FTR, especially the situation with them not wanting to give that forum win to the Young Bucks a couple years ago, right? Outside of that, they go out there and wrestle anybody. They go out there and there's a Saturday show. They trying to keep CM Punk from blowing the shit up. They have bent over backwards to be company men for AEW. And when I said that shit after All In, like, they need to stay away, I said, hey, they complain and whine and cry all the goddamn time, but when push comes to shove, they're AEW guys. The AEW got
Yeah.
as far as being willing to lay down on the mat and put a team over. And I was like, nah, man, they're gonna get in the ring with them and they're gonna eat them alive. And if Brody King and Bandito not been in there, and it was a regular 2v2 tag, that's exactly what happened. They would beat the shit out of them, pin them, and then maybe piss in their mouth and then drop the belts on their chest and walk out the ring. They head back to America, for all we know.
No MVP on this show at all.
Also
I don't know if that's
telling.
look, that could be a myriad of things. It is my prediction that we probably will not see the Hurt Syndicate no more. I would be shocked if they continue in this company.
Can we go back to Jet Speed? Can we go back to the Jet Speed situation? How the news that came out about that Hurt Syndicate was hard to work with, and that MVP apparently wasn't fond of Mike Bailey, and then they cut that cute little backstage video where they both said "fuck you" to each other. Now I remember, I don't know if I said it on air, but I said to you, it was like, that don't fool me. That don't fool me.
It don't, because it doesn't undo anything.
Right. They had smoke. Okay, plenty of people had smoke, and then they'll do some cute piecing up shit after that. Look, I'm sorry. I watched pro wrestling my whole life. I also listened to rap my whole life. I know when motherfuckers being fake friends. Right? Remember when the Game and 50 Cent brought Minister Farrakhan out there and went out there and hugged on stage? I know how niggas try to piece up and don't really like piecing it up. Remember when Drake and Kanye West was out there with Jay Prince, and Jay Prince said, "You two niggas finna put on this big shirt, and then on the shirt it's gonna say this, we get a long shirt." And they had to sit there looking sad while Jay Prince
like a hostage video. Should like a hostage video, bitch.
Yeah. I am not unfamiliar with this kind of, we made it up. This is a fake report. You're gonna work by the dirt sheets. Okay. All right. Follow the actions. If whether you believe the words or not, follow the actions. Monitor the actions. What have the actions told you this whole entire time? And that's why we've been saying this. It's gradually gotten more months. I mean, ring the alarm about this shit about that. You know how this with people. Why are the Young Bucks FTR a million miles away from them?
James, do you know how long I held off on actually saying something about them?
Was I the first person to say it? I don't remember.
No. Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. But as far as this being an issue in the company.
Yeah. We've been low because honestly, we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this because honestly, it's pro wrestling. It's silly. They're overact. For us, generally speaking, if we don't like what's happening on screen, cool. But we understand if other people like it, it ain't got to be about us all the time. Hurt Syndicate during this match, we heard people chant, "Ring it off." They still over, but we understand this is problematic, and over the course of time, it's gonna wear thin.
And it's coming. If
it hasn't already,
it might have already. Look, it might have already exploded. It's exploded online at this point. I know that. And then the online eventually pours over. So it's going to take everybody a little bit to figure out what's going on if it's not done already, right? Like I said, I don't know if we'll keep seeing these guys for how much longer. But this is just when you talk about the politicking and stuff like that, and it's just ooh. I don't know who actually wants to watch that. Because you're not actually going to get the best out of the wrestlers. You're going to see bullshit.
Rich is one of those things where when the wrestlers call the fans marks, this is the byproduct of that. They think that we're so stupid that we don't understand that we are watching a TV show, and we don't understand that these decisions are just hand wavy or whatever else. We're like, nah, man, this is a show where the athletes are the actors, and the athletes are advocating for themselves to win all the time as if it was a real sport. We understand, or most of the time like that, or historically have. So we understand that when things look crazy or stupid or whatever else, and the rug gets pulled or whatever, stuff doesn't happen in a succinct way or a cohesive way. We're there was something that happened in the creative process to gum up the machine. And typically AEW fans are more aware of this than WWE. So when this stuff happens, it's what do you think happened? All right? this is just a generation that grew up on YouTube watching shoot interviews. You know, come on,
we know what it looks like,
right?
You know,
watch any Kevin Nash shoot interview.
Oh, those
he gives you game while also being full of shit.
Yeah. It's look, all the real stories will emerge and come out, like, because one day the Hurt Syndicate is not going to be with this promotion anymore, right? And that could be sooner than you think, right? But at that point, people will start unloading.
Yep.
And it's going to be on you whether you want to believe it. And be like, all right, just weigh that against what you saw on TV, how it all played out, and then
you make your own decision.
I'll let you tell it, like Jay says.
Sheamus Novus. Yeah, sure, definitely.
So speaking of that, Swerve's in the next match. Someone says surely Swerve will get his W back from Lashley. Seeing as how Swerve will probably not be around the next couple months now, I wonder when that will be. So, AEW
one year anniversary Wrestle Dream when they had that match, right? Or was that Full Gear?
Yes, Full Gear.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll go back to the Pacific Northwest and get that win back from his home crowd. I'm sure, 100% sure.
They had the Tekla and Aminata thing, so they were fighting supposedly all night or whatever, which was funny.
Yeah.
They were brawling, running in the aisle, and then Triangle Madness came out there, jumped on Queen Aminata, and then the returning Jamie Hayter, who did not need a visa to get in this country, came out because it's her home country. This is why she did not need a visa.
Big pop.
She came and stomped out. Tekla, obviously they had something going on before.
Yeah.
And she went away after Double or Nothing. So presumably they got something going on. Like, there's a lot of levels in the women's division. It seems like everybody gets in line after the champions. Like, you got to, figure out what you're going to do. But I heard someone stole all Queen Aminata's shit.
Yeah, she's stuck
in the UK.
Yeah, there's something brewing. Like either right? Seems like there's their women's tag team division around or floating around or whatever else. And then there's also they have the Megans that doing like a blood and guts out of the women. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they have the elements in place right now if they wanted to.
No, when I'll say this also about the Hurt Syndicate match. When people after the tag team match that work for the company are sending me messages that say one word, disaster, I think I'm correct on my feelings on how that all went down. So AEW Unified,
and it gives me and it doesn't give me any joy, bring me any joy to talk about my brother Bobby Lashley like that.
Yeah, I mean, look.
No. No, that's that.
I know. Look at it. It lines up. Look, you can see, right there, boys got out, they all living that Onyx life together,
Onyx life.
You
dumb.
Slam. Da, da, da.
Oh my god. Oh no, it's funny. I saw a clip. Actually, no, I'm gonna save that. Let's move on.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell, and if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves shopping for a car. Selling a car? Not so much.
We're really doing this, huh?
Thankfully, Carvana makes it easy. Answer a few questions, put in your VIN or license, and done. We sold ours in minutes this morning, and they'll come pick it up and pay us this afternoon.
Bye-bye, truckie.
Of course, we kept the favorite.
Hello, other truckie.
Sell your car with Carvana today. Terms and conditions apply.
So we got the AEW Unified title, Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland. This went just over 16 minutes. Before this match, news kind of broke about Swerve's meniscus injury that he's been dealing with. I thought they had a match befitting of that. It was like the story kind of emerged publicly, but like this is a rare body part match, that I say, that I was not like bored by or thought it was like this complete deconstruction of wrestling. I thought this was like Swerve taking the fight to Okada. I kind of wondered who would do that. Then Okada responding in kind, and also doing a clean job, Swerve in this thing. So,
well, that's what Swerve does. And that's why Swerve got over. And that's why Swerve ended up in the main event in front of 50,000 people once. Like, these ex-WWE people, like, I don't know what it is about people like Swerve and Mercedes where they get it, but the rest of so many of them like come from WWE and just don't. I don't know if it's because like they were just it's PTSD. I don't know. But the ones that do get it, you know, they win in the long run.
So Swerve had some gear. I thought the gear was dope. You know, I had no idea what it was or whatever. I sent him a message. I was like, you know me. I was like, I don't know nothing what it is. I thought it looked hard though. Like,
I was watching the show with Jeremy and Dan Coffin and Zach Porter, and I said to Jeremy, like, I need Rich to Google image Mr. Terrific during the show. So and just say before he sees it, I just want to say, Swerve, I'm so glad that you did not do the face paint, because that would have been that would have been good. That would not have been good. That would not have been a good look. Yes. He's like, what? You would have been a big T on your face, nigga. What is this?
Absolutely not.
Right,
no, this couldn't happen.
Yes, he did it exactly how he's supposed to do it. Don't take another step further. You took all the steps necessary. If you take one more step, you're going off the cliff. Good job, Swerve.
They would have like
crucified that man. They already called him bad things anyway.
Look, they would have screen capped that man. They would have been editing like just all types of fuckery over.
Bro, because here's the thing. Mr. Terrific was in the Superman movie, but outside of that, like, he is like a D-list superhero in DC Comics. So it's like that was a really deep pool. Like that's a deeper pool than when he pulled out Static Shock, because at least Static Shock had its own animated series back in the day.
Okay.
So
now this is the fit was dope.
Right.
I was like even if you don't know what it is or whatever. Right. So I was like,
right.
But yeah, that face paint, absolutely not. No, that's a non-starter right there.
Can't explain that, bro. Can't explain that. If you're unfamiliar with comic books or whatever, has never seen him never seen Mr. Terrific before, you see a big fucking black tee on a black man. He's like, what the fuck is this? Are you trying to do black? Is this type of black facing? What is this? You already know where that was gonna go. So I'm glad you avoided that step.
Yeah. So like I don't think this is the match that Okada and Swerve could have, like, but I still think they gave us like something like really good.
There's a better match, and it's probably gonna be when he comes back.
And a lot of this like kind of led to the post match with Okada got the clean win. I don't know, man. I think this music. I tried embracing it at first. It just sounds weird, man. Like the new Okada music. Yeah, it's just. I guess I just got to keep getting used to it. But
it's just music to get you to hate that he's changed everything. He doesn't do the Rainmaker pose. He does middle finger. He doesn't give you his best matches that he could have. And now he's doing.
He's getting pushed stronger than ever now. Like he's getting pushed stronger than ever. Like it feels like he's really dropped in.
He's in his balloons era again.
Think so? No, because I think he's doing something different. I think David was like, all right, we had him like with the Elite. They put him with Callis, and this is like the start of a whole new like push for him, like where it's like going over strong on people. He's like, just very dominant. They're pushing him a whole different way, and they got him in the Don Callis family
I don't mean
to facilitate
I get what you mean. I don't mean balloons as the full story of like he's lost, and he's looking for something. I mean, like, he's still confident, as you said, he wins ever. I think the thing is like, this is his version of, I'm taking away things that were trademarks of mine, and then when I bring them back, you're gonna pop all over again because I brought them back piece by piece, right? Like when Hangman, can't change the music, back. Right, and then he, came back at some point, or for Texas, all in Texas, and he had his babyface music. He's like, it's one of those things going on. Like, there's going to be a babyface run eventually with Okada. He's not going to be they're not paying him all that goddamn money for him to be a heel forever.
But they basically Swerve takes the Rainmaker 1, 2, 3, and then Wardlow reemerges.
Yeah.
And I see Wardlow. I'm like, oh, he looks way bigger than like he used to look, and like. I thought there was a little bit of Like I was like, yeah, he was doing American Gladiators. I was like, that man been eating well, So he look Wardlow, like they're trying it again with him for whatever reason, but he's either going to be security for Don Callis or whatever. He's like the 9th man.
Exactly. He's like number 9 out of 11. 9 out of 11, yeah. Bro. I have never Don Callis. It's ironic that nigga's bald because this nigga has assembled the Legion of Doom. Bro, this nigga's Lex Luthor.
We were in, I think it was the Social Suplex Discord, and I don't know who I was talking with, but they came up with the point is the Don Callis family really just a male escort service? Don Callis has all kinds of men. That man has all men of all genders or all different kinds of locations, they're from. He's had Hobbs in that bitch before. He has Kyle Fletcher. This man has Japanese men. This man has masked men from Mexico in there. Whatever flavor you want, Don Callis got it.
I don't know how you turn into Magic Mike like this. I don't know what. Were you in the Tunnel Talk channel? Is that what happened?
I might have to check if I was or not, but that's. I swear, Don Callis got a roster.
Yes, he does have a roster. Bro, it's nuts. They have so much talent, and naturally, what goes up must come down. Hurt Syndicate and Death Riders were dominant at the beginning of the year. And while that was happening, we were looking around at the depth of Don Callis and being like, "Yo, they're loaded." And I think
they're circling.
I think they're gonna be the replacement, or they're gonna replace be the number one faction eventually. Because some people break off obviously or be turned on. That's natural. But you mentioned the Kesha thing, but yeah, man, it is. They have 11 guys, and the 11th wrestler is good. Whoever you think the 11th wrestler is, he's good.
Wardlow basically destroys Prince Nana after Swerve gets his knee taken out by Okada with the steps, and he's stuck in the steps after getting hit with a chair
multiple times
there. So that's an easy comeback for Swerve.
Yep.
Whatever way Swerve goes, I think you're going to see a different kind of presentation for him. He's got a lot of ideas, I'm pretty sure, and I think they're going to start getting executed after said time off. He is set to get surgery on Wednesday, and he's got a very upbeat mindset about it. So I think I actually probably took it harder than he did. I was sending him a message hey man, everything gonna be all right. He's like, yeah man, I'm good. It's it's a thing. Or whatever.
This is weird because you don't know how much they got to take out, right? Because
yeah.
I mean, they might have to take take all your shit like you're Chris Paul, and then you'd be like, oh, Chris Paul in his prime used to dunk on people. Now he doesn't do that quite anymore. Somehow the man's still playing another 15 years, but still, or 14. But yeah, it just depends. It depends on how bad the damage is when they go in there, because you can get MRI on that, but they go in there and they gonna see what they can clean up, and it could be Remember Westbrook? He basically hopped off the table to Westbrook right again after a summer. So we'll see. Hope for the best. Hope for the best, because if he comes back soon, boy, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome if he ends up coming back before this year's out. That'd be awesome. But we don't know. We don't know. It could take. We don't know how long it could take.
Yep. So rest up, brother, and we'll play plenty of Madden. So. But what else do we have on here? Oh, Inosuke Takeshita returns into a fucking mammoth ovation, and then he walks up directly and looks at Wardlow. He doesn't even look at Kazuchika Okada. I'm like, stop fucking with me, Tony Khan.
Yep.
You know what we want, what we here for, and apparently all this is gonna be set up. Takeshita's eventually this was foreshadowing. This was this group ain't big enough for all of us. I know there's a bunch of us working right now, but Takeshita is going to flip and be the babyface I think that everybody wanted him to be originally. And, they were disappointed when he turned. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him. So that C2 looks like Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita for the unified belt and the C2 all in one. That's what it feels like is going to happen this year.
Look, it's not Power Struggle. What is the next pay-per-view or big show for New Japan? Where he's facing
Destruction,
Sabre. Destruction, that's right.
But he's getting it at King of Pro Wrestling.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. I knew it was soon. Like, hey man, because he said I want to take the championship into the dome. Rich, like, let's say he does take it to the dome. Do you think he's gonna lose it at the dome?
I mean, I don't think he's gonna lose it that quick.
Rich, is there gonna
I'd be shocked.
Is there gonna be a Wrestle Dynasty this year or next year?
I have heard nothing in that direction.
Okay, if there is,
we are not talking about Destruction King of the North. No, we are not.
Look, if there is a second dome show that AEW is running, it would be a really big main event to run.
You tell.
Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada. Do you know how nasty? You know how mad people will be if Okada made it in the dome without New Japan on the footing after what's happened.
That sounds like some shit like where the WWF will buy your territory and then like run your town with the junkyard dog in like the Mid-South area or some shit. Like, hey man, this is fucked up.
Oh boy.
Don't do this.
Hey man,
don't do this.
Look, they did it with Kenny Omega at the dome and versus your boy. Technically, that wasn't the main event though. But you get my point. Like if they got a dome show, Okada hasn't wrestled over there in a year and 2 years, basically, or a year and a half.
Got to build it up. You know. So up next, we had AEW Women's World Title match: Toni Storm versus Athena. Just over 15 minutes. Toni Storm came out apparently like Marie Antoinette. I had no idea who that was. My first thought was, why is this woman in whiteface?
Marie Antoinette is French, so I was like, that can't be her because that doesn't make sense because the French and the English have smoke. So I don't know how she would do that. Like, so I just zoned out. I didn't know that was actually Marie Antoinette. I didn't get it. Because, it don't make no sense why she would do that in England.
I just saw whiteface. I just saw Ram.
I thought
that's it.
You say you saw Ram Kaichu? You stupid. Oh my god.
So Toni goes over Athena here. Pretty good match here. I thought Athena looked awesome.
Very good.
I thought they had a match that was cool. Obviously had a little bit of interference stuff at the end and all that with Billy Starks getting involved, but Toni ends up getting the win with the submission. And I was like, well, damn, if Athena ain't beat her, god damn, like Toni Storm doing beat the world at this point, bro. Like it's like, who's next? Like,
yeah, a lot of people were upset about that. And I thought it was 50-50 of whoever could win. So I still, after seeing that, the way the interactions between Athena and Mercedes and Windsor and Toni, like, I think there's still a way to I think given it we're 3 weeks away, because All Out's in September 20th, whatever. Yeah, man, I kind of still think, like, they're just going to, the cash-in deal with MJF is going to happen, immediate rematch Paige and MJF, and, like, they're going to go back to Mercedes and Toni. Like, what else are they going to build in 4 weeks that could be hotter than that?
Unless Windsor gets a shot eventually, like, maybe this is like a
Windsor versus
thing for that.
I don't think Windsor's over enough for that. Like, I think, especially if in a situation where, like, they're friends, like, it makes more sense if, like, Windsor gets a title shot at Mercedes, given that they were just in that match on short notice the way it is compared to AEW cycle pay-per-view. It's like, all right, she was in that match, she didn't get pinned in that 4-way, have her just be the contender for Mercedes.
Yeah,
but if we're looking for someone for Toni, I think the best person right now would be Mercedes. And then you have your multi-man, you have your multi-person woman match with, Triangle of Madness and Queen Amanada and Chris Statlander.
Do you give Jamie Hayter a shot at Toni Storm eventually? Because never really got to run it back with her.
Yeah, she
might be tied up elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too, sure. But it seems like she can't. But if she came back to face them, why she? Maybe at some point there's a match where they interact with each other, they run into each other. But
so I think the reason a lot of people are kind of upset because it's like obviously the women's division has so many only so many spots, right? So you got these two long reigning champions in Toni and Mercedes, and even Athena in Ring of Honor. She's held that belt forever. Mm-hmm. It's just like people are like, all right, man, like all these other people that you're bringing in that are getting hot, what are you doing with them? And there's the mentality of like not everybody should quote unquote get the title, but I think there's a black and white of this. Though. Exactly. I'm like, look, man, when Willow Nightingale is just as over as Toni Storm or Mercedes or Athena with an eighth of the push, I think we should try that at some point. Shouldn't we, James?
Well, yeah, maybe, but they keep circling back to her making fucking eyes with Chris Statlander for the last year or whatever else, and I'm like, hey, bro, enough.
Well, that's because neither of them can go forward. I think that's why
I know that. That's why I'm saying enough.
One of them gotta knock somebody off at some point to
either start
the deck,
either start the tag division on Wednesday or cut the shit.
I don't want to I know people would say, yeah, Willow and Statlander can be the first tag team champions. In my eyes, that is such a demotion.
No. I don't. What I'm saying is, because it's a shitter get off the pot situation for me. Either fucking do it, or free them so they can pursue other interests. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, look, do a three-way with Toni, Willow, and Stat, like they're suggesting in the joint for peak melodrama.
They did
Toni, Willow, and Statlander.
Didn't they do that for number one contendership for when Mariah was champion to get Mercedes when she was a rookie?
They did do that
there
on TV. Go. Yeah, they need to do it for the belt.
We've already done that at a lower level. We did it on TV.
Nah, no. But the reason they did that, that was wrapped inside the Toni and Mariah thing, which basically was that wasn't actually them blowing that off and building it up and making it mean something.
I'm being dismissive. They could obviously do it again. I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed. I'm very annoyed. I'm over it. Like these two, especially when you have this division around them of Jamie being back, Megan Baines around here, Tekla and Amanada. There's a bunch of hard-hitting, ass-beating women wrestlers out here. Let them scrap it out. And Athena's on the main roster now. The main roster like it's NXT. But it's on AEW.
You got to switch the hierarchy.
Windsor's
you got to switch the hierarchy at some point. I understand people love Toni Storm. Khan loves Toni Storm. She's always had the belt, seemingly. So, people are going to start checking out on this. Yeah, people are gonna start checking out on this, and they're already they're bucking back now.
If she can't find anything interesting to keep her busy, that will happen. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet, but I think we're approaching that. And there's also the part where I think she had never won on any of these UK shows, so I think there's a feather in the cap for her for this too. So cool. Now it's time to find a new suitable AEW Women's World Champion.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying you got to flip the belt next month or something. It's all right, man. By the end of the year, you should have somebody picked out by November or something, by Full Gear or something.
But that's why it's frustrating because we know we have Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. We know that, and they just they're doing the sapphic lovers shit. And it's all right, bro, I get it. But if you ain't gonna start this tag team division off to utilize that, you are literally just playing in their faces, and it's frustrating because they're great talents. So either let them flourish together or apart, but not this try to looking back over their shoulders and keep getting brought back to each other. ultimately because they keep ending up in the same place, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, which away from the titles. That's where they keep ending up.
Right.
So this is why people buck back, and I think there's folks that feel like these are pushes, right? Like that Mercedes and Toni are getting, which is fine. They're both great. They're excellent. I don't have a problem with even Toni winning this one, but I see the reaction that's coming around the corner. I know what's going on.
Do you feel like Jon Moxley has
when you hear these reactions?
Right. And here's my point bet. I get what you're saying, but do you feel like Jon Moxley has been unpushed since he lost the belt in July, mid-July? Or does he still feel fucking awesome?
No, he didn't go away at all. Like, they're still pushing him as strong as ever.
Right.
But it doesn't tend to work like that with the women's division.
Yeah, that's true. But it's the same thing with Roman, right? When Cody was a champion, we were talking about this. Just because Cody the champion don't mean that he's the ace. It just means that he's the champion. If Roman come back out, they pop like they're seeing God coming out. Like Toni Storm with or without that belt, Young Bucks with or without that belt, those belts, FTR with or without those belts, Swerve without the belt, forever champions. Sometimes you got to realize these people are forever champions. Some people are forever champions. Toni Storm is always going to have this group of this fandom, always. Unless she starts doing some terrible shit, she's always going to have this fandom. Unless she fucks it up. So she doesn't necessarily need the belt at this point in time. I feel like the Mercedes win was a great feather in her cap career wise. The Athena thing, same thing. Now at this point, unless we find something interesting, the next thing, and it could very well be the next thing she finds is something also interesting. I'll be down for that. But you need to start getting something in line before you possibly strike out at a certain point, and people will start looking up.
Before you beat everybody, before you clear this whole shit out,
right?
Essentially, it's like, all right,
right?
Because you done beat Bane, or it's like if you had Megan Bane still in the tuck, it would be like, yes, you beat her already, and it was like, okay, you used that match to introduce Megan Bane, essentially. Right. I'm like, okay, I get it,
that's fine,
but it's like,
how's the follow up been? Collision.
I was like, if you're looking for more people to push while Swerve and Will are out,
you could
Will Nightingale.
Yeah,
it could be. I know it's tough.
Yeah, and
to accommodate that.
Yeah,
but
and they're still teasing this thing of like of late with like Marina and Statlander with the beatdowns that happened before, or beatdowns happened with Willow. Then it started transferring over to Marina making eyes with Statlander, and then Statlander is now doing an odd couple thing with Harley, and Moxie showing up, and they trying to recruit her into they're seemingly still trying to recruit her into Death Riders, and like Marina's out here wearing the snapback with no brim, which is diabolical.
That shit is hilarious.
It's diabolical. I was like, what is she doing? Like, that's a choice. Like, but anyway, like they have a bunch of options. So it's like, all right, but the thing is, like, they have all these options that can be compelling, whatever. But it's like you got to pick one for Statlander and Willow. You got to. Enough. Like, I'm tired of waiting. Like, I love Mercedes, I love Toni, but I'm tired of waiting on. At what point does it? At what point are these be like, these are the two AEW women's pillars, and we keep just waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like, look, man, I feel like we got MJ. I feel like we got the MJF and Darby, but the longer you wait, you're gonna be out here sitting at ringside like a cuck like Daniel Garcia.
It's gonna be something. So, up next was the AEW World Title match, and James. Instead, you know how they say, instead of something, go to therapy. So I went to therapy yesterday as this match came on because it was scheduled like in the middle of this show. I couldn't change it. And I did not watch this match. I instead went to therapy or whatever. But what I heard about this match was like, I saw a clip of Bryce Remsburg with a count that was more embarrassing that they had the referee do this than anything Rick Knox has ever been made to do in a ring. I saw this shit and I was like, why would you want to tell your story like this?
Right.
Why would you tell the referee before the match, like, look, this is gonna be the ref bump. This is how you need to react to it. You need to like spin your body a whole look, James. You need to spin your body the whole different way.
Yes.
So
he was acting like Chris Webber in overtime of Game 7 of the 2002 Eastern or West Conference Finals. Like the rope was the rim, and he just turned his back to it. It's like, what are you doing?
I want to let y'all know I am no threat to score.
What made it even worse was like he took the ref bump, recovered, and then did the turn to avoid it, and then passed out before the bell rang. So like the bell keeper, like he counted to 3, passed out, and couldn't tell the ref that the match or the bell keeper that the match was over. So therefore the match just kept going, which is like, wait, what? Huh?
When MJF gets near the world title,
Bad things
shit
happen.
gets stupid. Shit gets stupid, and they're doing this because they want to do another MJF and Hangman match somewhere down the road. He's keeping the briefcase, and he has to cash it in at a different time.
All out.
Allegedly, the plan. No, I don't think that's it. Like allegedly, MJF is supposed to be this thing that looms in the back of Hangman's title reign, and it's like something down the road or whatever. That's the
Get this shit
that
the
are
fuck
out
over
there.
with. Like, look, man.
But brother,
these guys had a awesome pay-per-view match. Was that Revolution? Or was it Dynasty?
Okay. Revolution.
Okay, either one. 4.5, easy, classic, right? This match, in the middle of this match, they were on pace until they said no, fuck that. We're running away from the critical acclaim and applause and love. They ran away from it. They crickety screamed me like, no, we want to be slandered for filth. So, yeah, man, MJF, never, like, nah, man. Once the top title gets on the line, he's a choker. He's a choker. Like,
choke artist. Wow.
You put him to the top. You put him at the top of the card. You put him in the belt on the line, and then this goofy shit starts happening. Think of the stuff he's done with Moxley. Think of his title reign. Like, and then like you throw away anytime he's had a chance around the title, or defenses or challenges, you throw it out the way. Like his batting average exponentially goes up. He's worse when the lights are the brightest. Like,
he should never be at the top of the card. He should always be the third match from the top or the semi-main event.
He's a gatekeeper. After all of this, we have figured it out. And look, maybe we're still being unfair. He's still very young, but at this point, it's been over half a decade of watching this thing. Gatekeeper. He's a gatekeeper. He's the guy to get you ready for the babyface title run. He's not the guy to hand the belt over. He's not the guy to get the belt. He's not the guy to be champion because he keeps making these dumb-ass overthinking mistakes, and then when the chips don't fall his way and people start saying this bullshit, what's he do? Flavors ice cream.
Start crying.
Flavors ice cream. Brother, I just want vanilla.
Start crying.
I just want vanilla.
Yeah, man. I saw the reaction to this.
I'm gonna get clipped for that.
Yeah, you are.
Damn,
Absolutely.
especially with no fucking face. God damn it. Fuck.
Yup. It just happened right there. Yup. Yeah. So like when MJF gets up towards the main event, it's like he starts overthinking and short circuiting. It's like, dude, what brought you to the dance? And like, it's just like I was so like stunned to hear that. Like I saw so many people sending out the match graphics with him in the Jay White match and the Adam Cole match, and be like, who knew that MJF would have like the 4 worst matches in wrestling history and all this shit. And then like,
however, they're very, very disappointing.
Like,
look,
it's just man.
You go watch a 2020 Sinjo match between Sakura Hirota and Iger. You tell me that if any MJF does y'all talking about are actually the worst match you ever seen. You'll be wanting to climb or scratch through a door to get away from that match I'm talking about. Hell no. You have not seen the bottom of Joshi.
Instincts.
Straight up. If you saying he's the worst match you ever seen, straight up, you're lying to yourself.
His instincts either fail him or are predetermined or like pre-programmed to short circuit at these times. And it's like, I was terrified to even watch the match and didn't get around to doing it because I was like, I'm gonna be even more mad than I am just hearing about the match secondhand or whatever. So how did this whole thing play out, James?
It was a great match until the ref bump. And once the ref bump, and the thing is, I was like I said, I was watching with. I was like, once I saw Bryce Remsburg, I was like, fuckery's a foot. He's the MJF ref. Like
referee lore.
Him in the fucking ring. I don't know if you ever really peeped it, but like Remsburg holds the ring while he wrestles, and then he hands it to him so he can put it back into his shorts, so then he can pull it back out at different points. I've seen that go down, and then it's always the back and forth of the hey, what are you doing? And I was like, man, this is just a mess. Like the match was going good.
You don't want this in our main events.
Nah. And bro, it's. Like the match was great, and then the WWE main event title match formula it just got overbooked and just kept killing your sense of disbelief, or your suspension of disbelief while it was happening. And it was like, nah, man, get out of here. Like and the worst offender was Bryce. Like that shit, like the Bryce rough bump feint shit. It was just so bad, and then. Mark Briscoe came out because obviously, Briscoe got screwed because he had a match where his foot was on the rope, in that contendership match as well. It's just a mess. Just a total mess. And then, Paige ends up just overcoming all of it and wins, which is cool. But like, I feel like they did all that because
motherfucker again.
I feel like they did all that because like they went into the match feeling like no one in that building is going to believe for a split second that MJF's going to lose. And I'm like, and I said on the show, on the preview, I was like, even with all this stuff in the nonsense, like no one should have any reason to buy anything from MJF winning. MJF's losing. And sorry. Like this match, the second time whenever it happens, like, man, get it over with. Enough. Like, I'm tired of motherfuckers looming around. I'm tired of MJF being with this fucking cashing thing. I'm tired of him with the ring. Like, he just needs to be a guy that like gets his title shots on Dynamite, loses, and carries it the fuck on until the next time. A year later, he gets another title shot against the next babyface, and he loses then. Like, I don't think he'd be champion again. Like, I know it's really early to say this, and I think there's a good chance that like
I think people will revolt.
No, I don't mean right now. I just mean like I'm saying like, even if it was like 18 months from now. Like I feel like given how talented he is or whatever else, there's still time for him to change. But like I just feel like I've seen enough of his career now to know that like if he gets in these situations, he's gonna start giving me this WWE shit that like I don't want to see. I would watch WWE if I want to see it. And like WWE can do it well. I've yet to see him do it well, and that's the problem.
Look, Tony Khan came out here and distanced himself from the idea of evil going through in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Then less than 1 week later, allowed this shit to go down for his fucking world title match.
Look, man, at least it wasn't a bunch of run-ins from the Pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? But it still was the same thing. It's a bunch of just nonsense in the match.
Look, you know what I think actually would have been funny? If that's the one time you brought the House of Torture out was at Forbidden Door, and you brought out the fucking House of Torture and to help MJF or whatever, be like, I outsource some help or whatever for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then Hangman sends them all packing anyway. Like that's how you would use evil on Forbidden Door. And fucking Dick Togo and Ren Narita and the rest of them, with their individualized weapons. And I think people would get a laugh at it, like, "Oh, this is how they actually did it." Oh, okay, but and it is MJF, so it's bullshit. Everybody gets it, all right. But nah, man, I'm not going for it, and we've got to see them run it back again. And now the cash-in thing is a 1 week in advance notice thing. Tony Khan has come out and said so. We move.
That's an upgrade. However, just like for next year,
let's get rid of this shit.
For next year, when it's someone wins a title shot, cool. But with MJF still doing this shit, like this last match, they got to save what they've done. Like they were cooking until literally like 5 days ago, and they fucked it all up. Like, do you remember the very end of the first Young Bucks and FTR match when it was like, what just happened? Like, y'all just crashed the car. I feel like in the last 5 days, they just crashed the car in this building the match, and they just can't get out the ditch.
Crazy. Lights out steel cage match. Missed all the entrances for this, so I heard there was a really great Will Ospreay video. I did, as soon as the match started, I was back, watching.
All right,
Lights out steel cage match.
Oh yeah, steel cage.
The lights out steel cage. I was asking about the. They apparently played some great Will Ospreay video. I still wasn't back yet.
Yeah. I was listening to it. I was like, is Alec Windsor narrating this? And then I believe it was her. So it was very good, and it was basically like just putting over this guy is he's from here. He's the kid that made it, kind of. And he's been excellent in the UK and AEW, and it's like one of these videos like, he's gonna be next champion, or he's gonna be a champion one day in AEW. And then he comes out, and all the baby faces come out. And then he comes out last or whatever else, and he climbs the cage, like similar to the Fletcher cage match, and it's like Ospreay rings out, and it's just like, dude, this fucking guy, like if he ever wants to go to WWE, like all the people that have said all the shit they've said about him, they gonna lose it worse. Like, remember how they acted when Cody showed up at WrestleMania that year, WrestleMania 39? Like, if Will Ospreay ever shows up at WrestleMania, it's gonna be one of those, or probably bigger. Like, anyway, but. Match happens or whatever else. Heels come out. They had a match in like
the Fed. It was just a reaction. Go ahead.
Wow. So, look, man, just had neck surgery. Wrong side of 30. If he can't wrestle like he used to, he may as well get paid to wrestle like he can. But anyway, so. Match happens, and Young Bucks, they had came out and they played, like, I guess they used to play, their theme back in the day was like Mbop, or the Hanson Mbop somewhere, or whatever, somewhere, I don't remember. Yeah. So they played that, they cut to Omega in the ring, and he's dancing to the Hanson, and then a match happens, and Young Bucks get a bag from underneath the ring. They drop the bag, thinking that it's going to be thumbtacks, it's gummy bears, and Matt just like, what the fuck? So then
so when the pre-show, they walked up to like some production people and was like, we need the most dangerous shit you got in this bag or whatever. We need weapons put together for the cage and shit like that. And then they pulled out said gummy bears.
Okay, so Ospreay, somebody tries to like break it up, tries to attack them. They throw them out the ring. Matt Jackson, I believe, runs at Omega. Omega goes for a drop toe hold, and it's like is he going to fall into the gummy bears? It's like he holds him off until Tanahashi gives him a sling blade where Matt Jackson spikes onto the gummy bears. And I was like, this is silly, but it makes sense because look, even though the gummy bears on the floor, like, it's still a fucking mat he landed on, so he's cooked. And then as I said that, it'd be like, it still works. Fucking Kenny Omega grabs a fistful of gummy bears off the mat, and then he proceeds to pour the gummy bears into Matt Jackson's mouth. How that hurts, I have no idea. Whatever. He decided to get...
They super kicked him, right?
No. Bushi gives him a high kick to the head. And he spits him out like as if they were thumbtacks. And I'm just like, okay, man. All right. I was with you on it's funny because there's a sight gag of him and it still works. But then you get that spot. I'm like, okay, so Omega is just putting candy into a little boy's mouth. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Kenny Omega give a small man a sweet treat. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. So then from there,
what if they were edibles?
Matt Jackson would be dead right now. Those were a lot of. That
no
was,
one considered the possibility of that.
Those were dozens. Those were dozens of edibles. Anyway, so
good Christian boy, give him the drugs. Yeah, that could have been going bad.
Yeah. Wow, could have gone real bad. So then from there, they end up outside. I think by that point in time they've already done the torture porn stuff with Moxley and the earlobe thing with Darby. But they get to a point where, as Rich has mentioned, when he saw Tanahashi was going to be in the cage, he's like, high five, fall off the cage. They show Tanahashi get on the ladder and try to climb up the ladder. And then immediately you see Ibushi and Ospreay, two of the craziest, nastiest, craziest, ridiculous wrestlers in the history, dumbest wrestlers in history, reckless wrestlers in the history of the profession, both be like, no. Get your old ass down from there.
I saw people sending out, this is like King Von once said, in gun violence. Like,
yes.
all that kind of shit.
So, the funny part that was funny to me was like, when they were showing it, like, Ibushi grabbed.
You knew what the fuck it was.
Ibushi grabbed Tanahashi's hand while Tanahashi's hands on the top of the ladder, and Tanahashi making a move like he's trying to like fight off Ibushi to try to continue climbing, which was fucking.
I got it.
Then Ospreay makes a gesture like, "I'll do it. You don't do that. You don't try to kill yourself. I'll try to kill myself with my bad neck." So he comes to the top of the cage, and he moonsaults off. But what's also funny, what I noticed was like, while that was happening, you don't see Ibushi and Tanahashi in the pile of people catching because they're still attached to the cage, the side of the cage, because Tanahashi is still trying to climb. Ibushi is still like basically tackling him to the side of the cage so he doesn't move and doesn't try to climb the ladder and climb the cage. I thought it was funny as hell. So, yeah, I mean, then you start breaking on to just, the match goes in overdrive with a bunch of crazy shit. The match is awesome. And they do the spot at the top of it with Darby and Gabe Kidd both going through the double stack of tables off the top of the cage. And like, has anyone found out if Gabe Kidd's okay? Because he could have died. That was a rough landing.
Like, don't nobody like be caring about Gabe Kidd. Like, in his home promotion, the fan base don't be giving a fuck about him. They have written him off, James.
That ain't got nothing to do with like the dirt sheets, if you will, being like,
let him die. Okay. That's what they say.
That's nuts.
You don't want to show up to these funky tours. Fuck them. That's kind of what they're on right now with him. So.
But New Japan fans, that's weird. But I recognize sentiment. I don't say I understand it because that's nuts. But like, AEW fans saw a dude fall like 16 feet on the concrete and the camera doesn't catch whether or not his head hit the ground, but it could have. Maybe like get the word out if he's okay or his status. That was bad. I don't remember if we saw him again the rest of the match. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah.
That was it for him.
Yeah.
King of the North said he don't want to be on my Road to Destruction tag 8. Fuck him. Yeah. But I thought this was a spectacle match. Like, I thought like the super multi-man, like the great one, that was Anarchy in Arena this year.
Oh yeah,
this one was not that.
And
this was something else.
Way better than this too. Yeah,
right. This and I was talking with young boy Josh Smith, and he was just going on about how much he hated it, and didn't like it. It wasn't a great. He was really trying to drive home. I was like, bro, this is not a match quality match. Like, this is like, all these niggas in here are beat up for one.
Yep.
This is like a time, place, and like kind of like a Tanahashi's last kind of main event. Like, and all these people are in here interacting with each other, like these weird combinations and stuff like that. That's kind of what was supposed to carry this thing, and like the veneer of the huge fucking cage, the oversized cage and shit, and like look, if they would have wanted to do something a little bit more as far as the match quality thing, but like they did wild shit. They did the shit with the ear with Darby. We obviously saw the big bump from the through the double cage or the double table stack tables with Gabe Kidd and Darby. But this one was like, for me, it was like this was a spectacle match. This wasn't.
Yeah.
This wasn't like how many creative spots can they do. This wasn't how many, the multi-man, like we've seen like the big AEW multi-man match. Like that's Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah, okay. So, I have to talk to Josh about it. I don't know, but I just saw him. It was relayed to me that like he wasn't liking it or he was hating it. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm enjoying it. I thought it was a great match. It's one of those matches I don't know how to rate it, but like I saw the cage match rated for it. I was like, well, all right. I don't necessarily agree. I don't think it's a 5-star match, but I thought it was great. So yeah, like it's just I don't know what to compare it to. Like they've never had a 10-person Hell in a Cell with no top on the cage match before, and that's what this was.
Yeah,
and like I don't know what I was expecting, but I came with no expectations, and I had a blast watching it. So for me, it's a win. But like I don't, if you hated it, like I can see you hating, but like like I mentioned, like the gummy bear thing with Omega and the kick is like that what? But that's one spot out of I don't know how long that match went. That's one that's like
32 minutes,
2 or 3 spots out of a 32-minute match. If you say it's dumb or whatever else, and you hate that with the passion of 1,000 Sons of Pro Wrestling, I get it. I still wouldn't say that you would then completely wipe your ass with the entire match over that though. But I'm not speaking for Josh. I don't know what he didn't like. I'm just saying like there are things in the match that I didn't like either. But ultimately, I think the vast majority of the match outweighs the thing I didn't like or things I didn't like.
I think it was kind of like a microcosm of the show. Like it was good, but it was like not great. And this was like, it felt like more of an all-star game to me rather than like, all right, they're trying to do something fucking memorable.
This was definitely
like Anarchy in the Arena.
In a cage in front of like 19,000 people. Definitely.
Yeah. But that was Forbidden Door. That was like, everything there. Like I said, nothing bad on the show. Yeah, I haven't seen that world title match, so I can't speak for that. But
you're gonna hate the ending, but like you're gonna watch the match like before they get to the rough bump. You'll be like, they're having a great wrestling match until they start doing that. That's how you're gonna feel.
So I'm getting requested in the comments to read the card for Clash in Paris.
Well, we're gonna preview that on Thursday. So
we are.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Like how we always do our shitty previews for a WWE pay-per-view.
Sure. Is that on Peacock still? Or did ESPN come snatch that chain already?
Is this the last one? I think. I don't remember.
Think this might be the last one.
Yeah. Either the chain got snatched as you mentioned, or this is the last one.
This is the last one on Peacock.
Okay.
The last one on the card. God damn it.
All right, Seth Richard. Jesus. Never mind. I'm gonna ask. That was gonna be a
we'll kick question. That to Thursday. We'll give you a reason to tune in. /Styles on Thursday.
Fed Friendly James has to get his card rundown on the main show. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. I don't outright hate WWE. In fact, I enjoy watching so I can come shit on the shows when we do them. Well, like we review the shows if they're bad. Like if a match is good, it's good. If a match is bad, it's bad. I don't have a fat bad mentality as first mentality for that. I just don't. It's wrestling. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And these WWE pay-per-views have sucked this year. That's just how it is.
They've been abysmal.
Butt cheeks. Like. I don't even know what the best one would be. Would it be like night 2 of WrestleMania this year?
Bro, night 2.
I mean, night 1. I'm sorry, night 1. I'm sorry, night 1. Night 1. Night 1 was the better night. Sorry about that.
And I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. Because usually I can tell like when a WWE show is like going pretty well, whatever. Like they started like poking their chests out and stuff like that. But it was like
that chest been sunk in and caving all year.
It'd been real quiet,
Yeah.
you know, like even like Evolution, which people would swear is like this great show or something. I'm like, I'll never hear y'all talking about none of the matches on that show. Like, it's just like Evolution with this. It's just like, nah.
Fed Friendly James says Fed not bad. I just said they pay a year pay-per-view's been ass. Like, I can't win with y'all. Y'all just gonna get your jokes off regardless.
Yeah, man, you can't be saying things like when Will Ospreay showed up to WrestleMania, like that's like that gets him activated, right?
I don't know why. I'm talking about Will Ospreay old with a bad neck. I'm not talking about Ospreay tomorrow. Relax. When I be making my jokes about the Elite, I'm sorry, when the entertainment shows up to WWE, they old and washed up. Let them get their money.
Shit, 40. All right, man.
Can you imagine shit they get from BTE? Now the BTE's back. BTE and WWE. Oh boy. They look fights over that.
I don't know if they'd be allowed to do it.
Fights over that. What are they gonna do? You can't run this thing that is not like that doesn't make any money or doesn't make any money or has no sponsorships. What are they gonna do? Also, to be over to get them to come over, that has to be a concession in the thing. You're like, yeah, we get to do this to come over here. Okay. They got a 6-month out clause allegedly in their offer. Of course they can get BTE, especially at this point. They actually move needles over there.
Nick Khan might find a way to try to put his hand in the pocket on that. So,
you don't want to do that? Okay,
yeah,
I guess I'll just go back to AEW.
But yeah, man, that's it. I don't really have too much else.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, y'all. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes from in the podcast when it's posted, and go to the Red Circle link, and you can donate there. Also, check out our store on Chop Tees. Rich actually on the stream before we started recording actually put up a logo that he made. I didn't realize he made a logo for the Chop Tees One Nation Radio store. That was cool. And be sure to listen to other shows on One Nation Radio Network. No, that's not a thing. On the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Imps Adventures, Tunnel Talk, and Trish It's Their Wrestling Podcast, and Wrestling Hour with Chris Thing. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.